Looking like me, trying to rap like me, act like me, talking like me, even told the barber make their hair nappy. Hey, for a minute, I was finna change my swag up. Then I remember, this the shit that got my bag up. Who crash what? Nigga, I got power. Bitch, get the drop, mask up, done within an hour.
What's good, y'all? It's your main man, Daquan, and I'm back with another video for y'all. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about how to win games with park randoms in 2K. And when playing with randoms, you don't really have that much too much problem on defense. It's more on the offensive side of the ball, so we are going to be focusing more on offense in this video. And there's 3 types of park players in a game, and you have to put yourself in one of these, and that's aggressive, passive, or balanced. In this video, we're going to be breaking down each one of their traits, and we're going to be showing a little bit of gameplay of what each one looks like. And then after, we're going to be showing the best combination of these players. Then at the end, we're going to be showing additional traits that are good to have when playing with randoms. For the first one, we got the aggressive player. The main role is to create your own bucket, dribble, or assist. And it doesn't have to be all 3. You just have to be doing one of these things to be an aggressive player. And the bad traits you see on the right, doesn't necessarily apply to all aggressive players, but I'm saying it can, and that's a bad trait you can have while being aggressive. And good traits, ability to score. This is the aggressive players, their main role is to be the score, to create opportunity to score on the team, dribble, assist, and just create all around buckets on the team. And then for the last, necessity to win, I'd say it's about an 8 or 9. I probably shouldn't even put this category right here just because all players are needed to win on the court. But yeah, that about sums up the aggressive players. Let's see some gameplay of what it looks like on the court though. Now, the aggressive player doesn't always have to be the person with the ball in the hand. In this gameplay, you can see I'm the one taking the ball out. These dudes was just ass, and I had to create my own buckets. They was at the end, you're gonna see what they was shooting, but again, I had to create my own buckets. I had to be that aggressive player on the team. Identifying which player you are will definitely help your team, because it will definitely help you know which role you should play and what you should be doing on the court. As an aggressive player, you have a role. As a passive player, you have a role. And as a balanced player, it's kind of different with the balanced players. We'll get to that, and we'll definitely get to the passive players. But let's see the aggressive player. You see the score is 16 to 15. These dudes can't really score their own bucket. They can't create what they want to do. So that automatically kind of turns them into a passive player. And again, we'll get to that. And I had to get the bucket, so I'm automatically an aggressive player. And I know I said while discussing the aggressive player, a bad trait can be being selfish, but sometimes you just gotta be selfish, and the other players just gotta accept it. And most of the times, if you get mad at that, then that automatically puts you at a passive player, because a lot of the times passive players think they're aggressive players, but you just gotta know which role you in. And usually when dudes are missing a whole lot of shots, that automatically kind of puts them into the passive player mindset, because they don't want to be aggressive no more. They don't want to take the shots. And aggressive players, they usually are the good players that can get their own buckets. And these dudes right here, you're going to see what they was shooting after the game. I had to be the aggressive player this game. And bop, we just had a score right there. We had a cool little 18 piece. Let's see what they was shooting though. 1 for 4, 0 for 4. We had to do our thing. We had to take the wheel. 18 points, we had to go crazy. But now let's talk about the passive players. The 3 main roles of the passive players are the spot up, set screens, and score with opportunity. If you're not able to get your own bucket or allow yourself to get buckets for your other teammates, then you're automatically a passive player. And if you're not able to do one of these 3 things, then you're a liability on the team, bruh. You have to be able to do one of these 3 things. And if you are able to do one of these 3 things, then you are a passive player. But a bad trait to have is to be trash. If you're a passive player and you're trash, then it's such a big handicap. And the necessity, I don't really want to go over that, because you need players on your team to win, and you kind of need passive players to win. And that's why I kind of did rank it above the aggressive. But some good traits is to know your role. You don't want to be a passive player trying to be an aggressive player, because that just fucks up the mojo of the whole team, you know. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about, and there's definitely a lot of those people out there. But let's see some gameplay of what a passive player looks like. And again, I'm the passive player. I'm over here setting screens. I know my role. I'm not about to go in the corner, ask for the ball, just cry. I'm a set my screens, do what I gotta do for my teammates. And if I was a shooter, I'd be spotting up, like I said, in the main role traits. And the other one was score with opportunity, and you'll definitely see that. But like right here, score with opportunity, I definitely had the opportunity to score, but I'm not the one with the ball in my hand. The person with the ball in their hand dictates that, but we got the ball in our hands right there, and we're gonna score with that opportunity. Best believe that. Again, same thing right here. We had an opportunity to score. We're gonna take it. Even though we're not the main ones with the ball in our hands, we're still able to score. Like, you ever see someone getting fucked up on the 3-point line? He goes in a drive and then kicks it out to the person in the corner, and then that person in the corner then has 10 points just because that person kept fucking the other dude up. Like, that person with 10 points doesn't have to be the main player with the ball in their hand to score. You just have to know what your role is, really. You just have to know how to operate that role and find success on a team, because every person on the team has a role, really. And in this gameplay, you see, I'm still over here setting them screens. I'm just being that passive player, just helping my teammates out. And that's really the role of the passive player, is to aid your other players, really. And there's no problem with that at all. A lot of teams are not able to find success just because people don't know how to play their role. And when you're playing in the park, you kind of have to find that role and feel out which player you are. And that's why playing in the park is kind of hard. And as you can see right here, we're still trying to cook up a little bit. That's just the type of player I am. It's the end of the game. We were still able to pass it though. But as you can see, we was playing the passive player role, and we still had 8 points. We were still doing our job. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Just a good spread of points all around the court, all around the team, I should say. But next one, we got the balanced player. Now, this is just basically a mix of both the passive player and the aggressive player. But the thing is about the balanced player, there can't be one on the court at all times. There has to be more than one balanced player on the court. And let me explain why. If you're a balanced player, that means in game you're going to play the role of being aggressive and passive at the same time. Now, when playing with randoms or just anyone in general, you don't really have the choice of being passive with other passive players. So you have to be balanced with other balanced players, so you can switch off, if you know what I mean. But some bad traits is to be trash and selfish. Just a mix of the other ones, main role, just the same thing. You just have to really switch off, like I said. But some good traits is just to do what you do best. And again, we're just talking about the offensive side of the ball, not really on defense. So if you have to spot up for the first half of the game and then have to create your own bucket for the second half of the game, then do that by any means. And you see right here, we was playing the aggressive role right here, but we can pass it off too, just because we know how we have another balanced player on the team that's willing to play passive if he wants to. Like right there, I was gonna get my own bucket, then I was gonna go set a screen. We're doing the same thing right here, but we go into the corner just because we know we can get our own bucket. We see this dude, he might be struggling a little bit, so maybe we need to create ours instead of him creating his. And it's gonna be the same thing right here. We get the ball, and pay attention to their defense right there. Balanced players, they usually create a lot of commotion of defense on the other team, and probably the hardest type of players to guard. But some good combos, or probably the best combos, are aggressive player with 2 passive players. An example would be a play shot and then a stretch and a paint beast. The play shot will be creating their own buckets, and it's good because it's just an easy offense to play. Like, you already know who the ball is going to, and if they help and you passing it, it's just like easy to play. The next one, balanced, and passive. An example would be a slasher, play shot, and then a stretch. Now the two at the top, slasher and play shot, they're able to create their own bucket, while there might be a stretch in the corner who just makes it easier to score. He spreads the floor, and it's just great to fall back on, pass it to the stretch for an easy 3, and y'all know how that go. But the last one is just 3 balanced players. Now, this is where my build kind of comes good at, because I can play aggressive and I can play passive at the same time. So that's why I really made my build. But yeah, for the next one, we got the aggressive, and aggressive. Example would be a play shot, slasher, and a slash. And the reason this can be bad is because everyone wants the ball in their hand. It creates a lot of commotion, and yeah, it's just bad. A lot of tension right there in this combo. But the next one is the passive, and the passive. Now, you see this example right here, sharp, big man, and the big man. This is probably one of the main combos you see in the park. Just a whole lot of players that don't know how to create their own bucket. Like, yeah, you can have good defense and you can score in transition, but when you taking the ball in, you're not gonna get no points. A lot of people just gonna be doubling the sharp and leaving one man in the paint to stop those two big men. Like, shit, I can't speak right now. But the next one, this one might seem good, but it's not. Usually, one of the play shots be getting mad, be wanting the ball in their hand, and this is another one you see a lot in the park, and it just doesn't work. But the next one, two great additional traits: communication and defense. Anything you do in life that requires a team, communication is going to be the #1 key factor. And saying this clip right here, you just got to hype your team and be like, yeah, you fuck that nigga up. Shoot that shit. I got your rebound. It's all good. Oh, you got hit. Oh, it's all good. We going to get him back. We down 6, but we going to get it. Like, just something like that, bro. You just got to just create your own communication, but make sure it's good communication. You don't want bad communication, just people arguing. Just hype each other up. And then for the defensive side, everyone should just be playing defense, bro. That's the cherry on top. If you can know how to play your role and know how to play good defense, then that's all you need in a player. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And